Hello and welcome back to the podcast. We have got a few things to catch up on in the pop culture universe, but mainly we're going to start off just talking about our weekends that were kind of boring, but like also kind of shocking because I did something very, very, very out of character. And I ended this weekend setting up my Christmas trees. And yes, I say trees because I have two, but you'll also never believe this.
I won't.
I purchased a third Christmas
tree. Shut the fuck up. Wait, where's it going? I didn't know this.
Okay, so I know. I wanted to wait to tell you until we were on the podcast.
To get my genuine reaction. Yeah. I'm really curious where it's going in the home.
So, you know how, which I didn't even tell everyone about this either, but
I can't believe you didn't tell me this.
This is a crazy thing too. So, finally, we're getting a couch for the basement.
Oh, this is big news. This is really exciting.
And we've been supposed to do this for like the last however amount of time that we've lived in this house, and it just never happened. So finally I committed and I was like, we're getting a couch for the basement. We want to make it like a theater kind of situation, but like just a big comfy couch and a TV.
Cozy.
And we have like a popcorn maker. Okay. So
it's legit.
It's legit.
The popcorn's so good it lasts like months.
It's very.
I've been known to eat a stale piece of popcorn or two out of that machine.
That is something you do that I cannot get on board with.
I love.
It'll be like, no, Brittany will come in and she'll be like, how long has that been in there? I'm like, 2 weeks.
I'm like, perfect.
She's like, perfect. Takes a piece out. I'm like,
It's so good.
So we're finally doing our basement, and this was a big deal to me. So when we went to, why did we just go to the store? Oh, more adult things. We went to At Home to get plant pots because I needed to repot all my plants that I've had for the last few years that I've kept alive, surprisingly.
You've done quite a good job with keeping them
The one
living.
Is like 20 feet tall.
That one has grown a lot. The one by the back door,
Don't call me.
That one was kind of falling over.
Listen, because, okay, so you know how all these like Instagram people have olive trees, and I feel like it's a California thing where like they get all these really nice big trees, but they're real.
Yeah.
So I was at Kroger and they were selling little olive trees.
Is that the one that's by the back door?
And so I've kept it and I've kept it alive, and I'm giving myself credit for that.
Its last leg.
No, because you think. But
yes, I thought it was gonna attack the dogs.
It just needs. I need like one of those sticks you put in plants to like keep it up,
to hold it up, like a crutch.
Yes, that's what you do. But to be fair, Erica got the same at the same time as me. Got one. Hers has been long dead. Long.
Wait, really? Yours outlived something?
Yes, and she's the plant lady.
That's kind of nuts.
It is kind of nuts. So yeah, so I got new plant pots for all 3 of the plants. I ditched the snake plant.
Poor Phil.
I know.
I did have a name for the plant. I think Phil does listen sometimes, so shout out.
It was named after Phil by Brittany, not me. So yeah, that one is gone now. But so we repotted our plants. So we went to At Home, and they have so much Christmas stuff.
They really do.
Which, by the way, they have an all pink aesthetic aisle, and I think we need to decorate the set for Christmas this year with a pink Christmas aesthetic.
Oh my gosh, we could have a pink Christmas tree there. We can have lights. I love it. When do we do this?
Maybe like mid-November.
I think that's fair. That's soon.
So yeah, they have like every aesthetic, which, by the way, Patreon bonus content. We're going to give some inspo for Christmas aesthetics, reviewing different kinds of Christmas aesthetics that people have, which ones we like the best, and just giving some inspo while you decorate this season. But yeah, so we were at home getting the plant pots, and they have all their Christmas stuff out, and I was like, Evan.
Inspiration struck.
Should we get a tree for the new basement setup?
Oh, I was going to say, but where is it going to go? I should have known when you led with we're getting the basement together.
So now our basement's going to be comfy, cozy for the winter season. So we can like watch Christmas movies.
Christmas movies? Can we like decorate cookies or like...
We probably won't do that in the basement.
Something festive.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
Okay.
like the festive hangout area,
I'm
cozy.
I'm really excited for these vibes. Maybe one day that's where we'll see the Lions win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. We're gonna talk about that today too.
I'm hype. I'm
Uh,
hype.
yeah. So that was what I did this weekend. All shocking, all very adult.
Yeah, my weekend was kind of adult too. I did meet Brian's new niece.
Oh
Shout
yeah.
out. That was
Like,
exciting.
what'd you say? 5 days
5
old or
days old.
something?
Like the cutest little baby angel you've ever seen.
I can't get over. Did we talk about this on the podcast? How we're like terrified to hold newborn babies?
Yes. Well, no, actually I don't know if we've talked about it. We've discussed it with each other,
Yeah.
but I don't think with our friends here on the podcast.
That's the youngest baby you've held.
Yes. I held his other niece, Alessia, when she was born, but I feel like she was a week old. It was the youngest baby that I fed a bottle to.
That's so wild. See, I would be so nervous to do that for someone else's kid.
I was a little nervous, but I mean, Brian is actually like very like in tune with how to do those type of things. Like, and he's more comfortable doing it than I am. I get very nervous, especially when you have to like burp the baby afterwards. Sorry
about that.
You're good.
A little unprofessional.
A little unprofessional. He knows like exactly what to do, and I think he helps me a lot because I get nervous just because they're so little. They're
well,
so
when it's
cute.
not your own, it's like definitely obviously different. But like even with Evan's niece, I remember she was like a few months old when we had like went and seen her, and it was my first time holding her. And a few months is like still good, but still can't like hold their own neck up. You have to support the neck. And I was feeding her, and the second I give her the bottle, she starts choking. And, you know, like, it wasn't like an actual choke. It was like how babies, like, just start coughing a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, take the baby. I just, like, start, like, panicking. Yes, because, like, it's not my kid, so I don't want to, like, beat its back and be like, stop choking. Well,
yeah, that's the scary part is when you have to burp them because it's like, you got to do it.
Panic. That is pretty adultish, though. You also, I forgot to say this in the beginning, we're getting ready, both of us, a lot of our friends, to go on a trip. Because our friend, it's like our first wedding of the friend group.
It's so exciting.
And it's a destination wedding. So, like, we're all getting ready to go out of town together, which is going to be absolutely insane.
I'm so excited about it.
I feel like that's kind of what we did this weekend, too.
Yeah, we did a lot of prep for that Saturday and Sunday. Brian and I actually started our day Saturday with pedicures. Brian went with me.
I love that he went with you.
It wasn't even his first time going with me.
It's crazy because I told Evan that Brian went with you, like trying to convince him to go. And he was like, he went? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, guys go in there all the time and get pedicures. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to get paint on your toe. Like, I feel like it just doesn't register with him.
Yeah, you don't have to get hot pink toes to get a pedicure.
You could if you wanted.
I mean, you could. Brian did discuss. He was like, should I do blue with like a sunshine? And I go, you go for it. You do what you want to do. He didn't opt for that. He opted for the no polish.
I think it would have been a thing. I think he could have started a trend within our friend group.
I think he could have too. I think people would have thought it was cool. So
I agree.
He didn't go with
nail
it.
polish is like becoming a thing for guys.
It is.
It's definitely with
fun.
the younger generations. And I feel like the toes, it's
an untapped population.
It's a low-key vibe. Like, not everybody has to know about it, but your closest friends, well, bam, you pull them out. And they're like, you're cool.
I mean, maybe that's something that we do. I mean, Evan still has time. He hasn't got a pedicure yet. It could be him.
I doubt that. He couldn't even fathom just like going
in general.
Yeah,
maybe the four of us will go one time and he'll feel like
surprised them.
Yes, that's what I told her that she needs to do with Evan. I was like, just tell him like you guys are like going to get Starbucks or something and just surprise.
Bam.
Pedicures.
We're actually at the nail salon. Like, you wouldn't know.
You'd just be like, I'm going to wait in the car.
Oh, man.
What a weekend.
Interesting. Well, no. Also this weekend, this was shocking.
What was
shocking? I got a fucking email from Netflix saying that the prices increased again.
That's what I think about that.
Yeah, so I literally started looking up because I was like, I had this account since like college.
That's impressive.
I believe that it was like, I want to say it was like $9.99 when I first got it. And now the price just went up this is like the premium one, which I have to do because I just set on the one with Stevie. Stevie uses it. Like,
yeah,
basically both my sisters use it and me. So if you have more than one household,
that too loud. Netflix is gonna come for you.
Premium, you can do.
Oh, you're allowed.
You can have 2 additional members of the thing, so like they can use it outside of the household, and then each one after that is an additional $8 a month.
They're gonna run themselves out of business.
But it genuinely did double since it first started. Premium was $11.99 and now it's $22.99. So I started looking into it, and originally the standard was $8.99, which I think that's like what I used to have.
Right.
Now it's $15.49, so that's like literally almost double again. And you can do like the basic no ads for $8, but you can't share like households. You can't use like more than one device even in the same household. So like it's just so strict, and all of these like different streaming platforms is making it impossible, because even for Netflix, like, okay, $22.99, you're getting like everything. You can have a few households, you can have like extra members,
right,
whatever. But the problem is 50% of Netflix like movies and shows are Netflix originals. So you're kind of missing out on like 50% of like what other streaming networks have.
Right.
And Netflix is also taking some of those originals and like selling them to other networks and putting them out.
So you could get them somewhere else.
So you could get them somewhere else. So it's like takes away of the value of even having it
Netflix
in the first place. So basically you're getting less as the time goes on and you're paying more. And I'm like, how is this adding up?
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous how out of hand streaming services have gotten. I feel like at one point it was easier. Like there was like 1 or 2 choices, and now it's just too many and too many platforms. I remember earlier this year when college football just started, we were trying to watch, like the college football games throughout a Saturday, and almost every single game required a different streaming platform. There wasn't just one that you could watch all of it. Even NFL Plus, you can't even watch a fucking game on NFL Plus.
Well, that's what I was just talking about, because
you can listen to one, watch one. Hell no.
Well, I remember when it was like the week after the Lions Thursday night football game. The next Thursday, we were trying to watch Thursday night football, and we couldn't watch it because it was on like something different than it was on the previous
that one
Thursday.
Might be on Prime. But it's different from I have Red Zone. It changes
though. It's like so confusing. So every time we go to watch a game, we're like, wait, where do we need to go today? Oh, it's Monday, it's on this. Oh, it's Thursday, it's on this. Oh, it's Sunday, it's on this. It's like, can we just pick one?
You know what's wild is, so I have Red Zone through YouTube. So I don't know exactly how I got that to work. And I can watch every single game that's happening on Sunday on Red Zone. Not all that, well, I mean, like, it's like they show you the games without commercials. They just show whatever the most exciting game is to be watching. I guess that's how it works. And then you can watch individual games. And I've been able to watch any individual game on there except the Lions, because they're like, this is outside of like your location limits. How come I can't watch the Lions game? I can see the highlights on Red Zone, but I can't watch the Lions game.
The whole thing gets so confusing and it makes it difficult. And even with like now with TV shows, it's like, I don't know, you have cable, then there's Peacock, then there's Hulu, then there's Disney
Cable's
Plus,
gonna have a comeback. I swear to you, Cable's gonna make a comeback.
So sick of just like having to go to 100 different places.
They're Airbnb-ing themselves. Is like at one point they were the solution, and then they tip and tax and increase and do all this shit, make too many loopholes, and then everyone will just go back to a simplistic life because no one wants to deal with having to figure out all these different platforms.
Today's episode is brought to you by Uncommon Goods. It's officially time to kickstart your holiday shopping, but there's no cause for panic. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. Whether you're shopping for mom, dad, teenagers, in-laws, or your best friend, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. A few of my favorite gifts on their site are the customizable gifts, So one thing I know for sure I'm going to be sending to my fiance is a personalized handwritten letter blanket. Another great gift that they have that's customizable is a family cookbook. So great gift for a future mother-in-law. I got this for my future mother-in-law last year, or for your mom or anyone who loves to cook. For your Gen Z sibling, maybe something like a create your own video game set, or anyone who likes tech. Or gift your friend a virtual experience like a mixology class or a cooking class. And another great thing is when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And these products are often made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/shady. That's uncommongoods.com/shady for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Thank you to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring today's episode. This was a Netflix original I started watching, and I highly recommend it. But again, like, will this be taken off eventually and like put on like cable or like, so, you know what I mean? And then that's been the problem too, is like since the beginning of Netflix, everything has gone onto their own streaming services. So like everything Netflix used to have, now those networks have taken it back and like taken their shows off of,
like Gossip Girl.
Yes, like they've taken it off of Netflix because they want it for their own streaming service. So it's literally less. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, I started watching The Fall of the House of Usher. And no, it's not about Usher. That was the first question that everyone asked me, like, oh, is it about Usher? I'm like, bro, no.
Dude, Usher.
It's like a scary show.
Usher's name is probably like, that's probably like one of the most Google things right now is like, is The Fall of the House of Usher about Usher?
It's not, but it's very good. At first, I thought it was just
scary.
It is. At first, I thought it was just like a mystery.
Yeah.
Kind of gave me like murder mystery vibes.
Yeah.
Which kind of was. But there's a lot of jump scare scenes. And Evan didn't know. Like, I just put it on one night because this is what happens. We'll take so long to pick something that like an hour passes. I'm like, let's just go to bed. Like, I don't want to do. So what I recently started doing, like, I'll just pick something just right away and be like, okay, if it sticks, it sticks. And this is one that did.
That's wild.
However, there's so many jump scares. And like when I first put it, Evan didn't realize what it was or even what it was about.
He didn't know the premise. He just...
No, I watched the commercial and selected it, but he wasn't paying attention.
Poor Evan.
So like first scene comes on and it's like a actual jump scare. And he was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, no, but it's good.
I'm personally probably not going to watch it because it's made by the same person, I think, that did like The Haunting at...
It's less scary than that, The Haunting at Hill House.
Yeah, because I watched like 2 episodes of that. I was like, not for me.
No, it's less scary than that, I think, but because it's a little bit more fictional.
I mean, that's nice.
Than that, but yeah.
But I mean, fictional
It was funny though too
scary.
because it's hunting season and Evan has been hunting, so he walks out in the woods in the dark. And he was scared. Like, when he came back, he was like, all I kept picturing was that chip from the show. And I'm like, yep. I mean, I probably would never go out in the woods just because of like Blair Witch Project and like
absolutely
being scarred as a child from that. But yeah, that's wild. But anyways, yeah, that's what I've been watching on Netflix. Also though, the Priscilla movie came out, which is about Priscilla Presley.
I don't want to see it.
I really want to see it.
I didn't see the Austin Butler Elvis. I heard it was great, but I feel like I want to see this more.
Everybody is comparing the two, but it's definitely about like 2 different things. Like the first one was obviously all about Elvis and his life, and this one is basically about Priscilla Presley and like how they started dating, getting married.
No, you don't say.
But everyone has been comparing the 2 movies, and they're like 2 totally different things, but because everyone's comparing Austin Butler's role as Elvis to Jacob Elordi's role. And it's so terrible because on all this press...
I know what you're going to say.
He's just been saying like, yeah, like I only really knew about Elvis through Lilo and Stitch. And, you know, Austin Butler, when he was doing his press run, was like...
He was Elvis.
I took 3 years, like I studied this for years, cut off family, like... He got like a voice coach, a movement coach, a dance, like all these different coaches, took it so seriously. And then like everybody's praising Jacob Elordi though.
Of his performance of Elvis.
His performance of Elvis and saying how like it's so accurate.
Dude, that makes me kind of sad for Austin Butler because I feel like that's like your classic in school. Like you have the one student who like does everything right, like does all of their homework, like answers all the questions in class and like still like has a hard time getting that A. And then you have one student that could like nap through class and will just like ace the test. Like that's, I'd feel like that's what this is.
Yeah. But you can't blame either kid in that situation.
I mean, no, they're both.
But to compare them is like harsh.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think it's worth comparing, especially because the movies are just like, his role was a lot smaller in this movie than, so it like makes sense for him to like not take it that seriously and like, I guess, not be so strict with it. I mean, the Elvis movie was all about that, so it was definitely going to be all critiquing his.
It makes me so sad, though, for people to be like, oh, Jacob Elordi did so great. Austin didn't need to be doing all the most. Like, they're both fair. They both, I'm sure, are great Elvises.
Well, so for like IMDb ratings and Rotten Tomatoes, they both got very similar ratings. I looked them up.
See?
The Priscilla movie got a 7 out of 10 and an 84%, and the Elvis movie got a 7.3 out of 10 and 77%. So very close ratings.
So no one needs to be dragging Austin Butler.
Yeah, but I do really want to see it. I think it's so interesting from that perspective because I feel like nobody realized when Priscilla Presley married Elvis, she was like in high school, like senior year of high school. Yeah, she like when she moved in with him, basically she was like very young, and he was, I think wild. He was in his 20s and she was still like leaving high school, and that's when their relationship began. I guess they met in Germany because he had to serve in the military. Right. And her dad was in the military, so they met like at a base thing.
That makes sense.
And then when they came back, they met back up, and then she ended up moving in with him. They ended up getting married, but it's just such like an interesting, I don't know, story. I did watch some of the Elvis movie, but I didn't completely finish it. I really want to watch this too, though. So maybe I'll do like a back-to-back situation.
Yeah, give them both a fair chance.
Yeah, I think both kind of do paint the same story. It just didn't really highlight like his relationship in the.
And then the Priscilla highlights the relationship.
Yeah,
that's cool. I always find that interesting how like what are the odds of like 2 Elvis movies coming out within like basically like a year or so like time frame?
It is so like it feels so random kind of, but like
how many movies? I mean, maybe there's a lot of movies about Elvis, but like none this mainstream, I guess. And then for like 2 huge ones to come out within like a year span of each other, like did each of them know that the other was being made? Yeah. Not like kind of Jacob and Austin, but like the production or like
like the directors,
producers, all those people. Yeah.
I don't know. The families, I think, knew about both of them, like Elvis's family.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Elvis came out, they all were like very in support of it. And I think even for this one, the main actress that plays Priscilla said like she was contacting the family to like try to make it as accurate as possible.
Right.
So I think that's kind of cool.
I just always find that interesting when like Elvis obviously has been like a very known person for so long, and then it just like turns into a trend, like almost like we were talking about with Scooby-Doo. Like,
yeah, like why'd that
that's all they've been characters for how many years, and then just randomly was like popular for Halloween these past 2 years.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know what it is. I think it's just kind of how the pop culture is. It moves so quickly now. Like, if one little clip of something gets blown up, it's like a deep dive into that.
Yeah, and then like everyone hyperfixates on it for like a month and then moves on to the next thing and hyperfixates on something. I mean,
it's
I guess
so
that's
terrible,
what we do
but we were just talking about literally. Well, we were just talking about how, like, we're so glad that on TikTok, if you hold the left side of the screen, it goes, like, 2 times speed. And we were saying how we're so happy about that. And I was like, Brittany, do you know how bad that is that a TikTok video is, like, 1 minute and we can't even fucking sit through 1 minute of content?
To justify the why behind us really loving that feature is sometimes people be dragging out what they have to say and they do not spit out the point until they'll like go on and on and on. Yeah, literally us on this podcast. Right, they'll go on and on and then show you like the with 'em, like the what's in it for me.
I'm sorry, I'm just fixing my little dude. Why do fucking hats give you the excuse my language, but excuse my language. I hate when the little loop comes out of the back of the hat.
I mean, I feel like that never happens.
It's literally my ick of my own self because
we want to talk about icks. I have more.
No, I just hyper fixate on that now and like constantly touch it because
that's probably why
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because I saw a clip. It was from like the Kardashians or something.
And somebody's tail was out.
Kim had a hat on and her little lump out of the back of her head was just sticking out of her hat.
Her hair or the hat?
The hair like looped out of the hat hole, like which this? Mine's doing right now. Yes, mine's doing it right now. And anyways, it looked so silly and no one told her. And she's also being followed by film crews. They could have easily been like, hey, unless maybe that's what she was going for. But now that I've seen that and like I know what it looks like.
Now you're like
from the other perspective, I'm self-conscious about it. So every time before I like get out of my car in public when I have a hat on, I'll flatten my thing down.
Well, now you're going to make me self-conscious.
I'm sorry, but I just had to say because every time we do a podcast episode and I wear a hat, when you talk, I'll try to like put it down so that the camera's not on me. But now I just exposed myself. But anyways, if you see me doing that, that's what I'm doing. And I feel like everyone's going to know. Yes, it just pisses me off. Like, why does that happen?
My new ick is
great.
I just referenced my my little list that we reviewed before. I recently heard the term tummy control and I hated it.
Wait, it made me the word tummy?
Yeah, because somebody was like, I think it was on QVC. For some reason, QVC's been on it lately. QVC I don't know. So when I watch like streaming services on my TV at home, I don't ever watch cable unless it's football, because I'm a football girl on my TV. But for some reason, when I turn the TV on, QVC will be on in the corner, and then I will go to my streaming service. Anyways, they were talking about this one piece of clothing or something, and they're like, it's great because it has tummy control, and it just made me want to vomit everywhere.
I mean, I've heard that term so many times.
And the way she said it, instant ick for me, so it was added to the list.
Tummy
control.
I don't mind it at all. There's nothing about it that bothers me.
That's crazy.
What does bother me is when, specifically for myself again, when I put on clothes and you can like see the hole of my belly button in the
you
clothes.
Don't say. I also hate that.
It pisses me off so badly. Like,
I'm pretty sure.
Who makes those? What? When you made this piece of clothes, you didn't think about that? You didn't think about people have belly buttons?
I think that's what the tummy control undergarment
No, it's not.
For. I swear to God.
No, and then I fucking hate when people are like, oh, wear a, like,
Spanx.
Wear Spanx. Like, I don't want
like
to.
That word
I
either.
just want the clothes to be good enough so that they account for the human belly button.
I hate Spanx. They're so uncomfortable. They squeeze you. Who wants to be squeezed like a sausage?
No, I refuse to wear them.
No, same.
I don't wear them. I refuse. It's so uncomfortable, and I just won't.
And that's that.
And that's that.
And that.
We just really went on a tangent there, but anyways, back to, you know what? It's not a tangent because we talked about the Kardashians and we talked about clothes. So let's get into this. Kylie Jenner came out with her clothing line. Kai, I do like the name.
The name is super cute.
I really like the name. However, this is what I don't understand. So within hours of this brand launching, she received an Innovator Award for this brand by the Wall Street Journal. And like
there's no way that wasn't pre-set up.
Right?
Like,
I mean, for sure. Like, they obviously knew. She was at this event, like, hours after it launched and, like, had the whole thing.
A lot of awards are earned and justifiable. And there's, like, criteria and people work really hard for these awards. But sometimes I see, like, things like this with magazines or, like, top 100 or top 50. I'm like, or, like, top 10, like, super specific thing. I'm like, somebody for sure paid to be on this list. Like every person,
right? Or you give something in return,
some kind of exchange, some kind of agreement.
Which I like that. I guess I understand, but to give somebody like a brand innovator award from the Wall Street Journal, I feel like that's kind of wild. But also
to get like within
Kim
hours.
got it for Skims in 2021.
I mean, that I believe that was kind of innovative.
Exactly, but that was different. This is what I guess I don't understand what the criteria is for the award. Maybe because this line specifically, she doesn't design. She collaborates with designers that already exist to come out with products. So like this release was, she partnered with a brand that already exists called Namilia. And the creators of that brand worked with her to create a 12-piece capsule for this. So basically, she used other designers
to come to be part of her capsule instead of like her going to designers and having like designer X Kylie. It's her bringing them. That's pretty smart.
It is, but
it's very interesting.
So like,
does anyone else do that?
I'm pretty sure that's what Chloe did with Good American. So Good American is owned or co-owned with somebody else who basically came up with everything, and then Chloe like signed on with it with her.
I see.
It's kind of like a lot of companies do that. Like you white label a product, so this product already exists. You put a celebrity's name on it, and then it becomes like a huge
deal.
And that's what most brands, how most brands are founded. And basically she's doing it, but I guess she's being upfront about it. So it's like different in that sense. But I guess like, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy how it all came so quickly. But people were saying and like criticizing because when she launched the lip kits in 2015 for Kylie Cosmetics, the demand was so high that the site crashed and like stock sold out within minutes. And for this, like right now, if you go on the website, it's still like available. Like pieces are still available. You can still get stuff.
It's not super sold out.
Yeah. So people were like, is it actually like finally is it not like such a thing anymore?
I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I feel like when the lip kits came out, the Kardashians, all of them, Jenners, whoever, they did not have as many brands out that they were selling. I feel like nowadays, each of the Kardashian sisters, the Jenners, have multiple brands each where they're selling various products that I feel like it's not as new and exciting. Like I feel like Kylie's fans, if you will, at the time, like her followers, they had a lot of brand loyalty to her, where they wanted the lip kits, they wanted the products. It was so closely tied to her.
Yeah, and I feel like that might be the difference too, but it's almost like they oversaturated their own market.
Right, because they all
so many brands.
Yes, and it's cool when they do something unique. Like Courtney has
Skims is like a very
super niche, super unique, and there's not a lot of other companies that are even like that. Or I would even say with like Courtney did the vitamins, that's pretty different than anything they already have out there. But I feel like to release a clothing line, like her and Kendall had a clothing line. They still might. That was at PacSun. Like a lot of the Kardashians have had clothing lines. Yeah. So I feel like it's not something that's super niche, super personal. So people aren't
to her. So they're not like that big of a deal.
Especially, I mean, because when Kylie did the makeup, I don't think Kim had KKW yet.
I don't think so either. No. And the lip kits was like such a thing because everyone was like, it was when she was like overlining her lips and everyone wanted to do it with her and like get the same products. That made way more sense to me.
Yeah, it was like a lightning struck. Like all the timing just like worked out perfectly with that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it looked cool. Like the pieces looked cool.
Yeah, they were all super cute.
I actually went to the other brand that exists already and looked at their stuff, and they had some interesting stuff on their site. But
really,
yeah, this is so random, but they have like a dick purse. I can't believe I just said that word. Maybe we'll bleep that. But anyways, they have a purse that's shaped like that, and like one of them has like spikes on it. I don't know.
I don't. That scares me a little bit.
I mean, we would obviously never be caught with that.
Right,
but,
right. We're just not a target audience for maybe that type of bag.
But they do have a lot of pieces that look similar to what she put out.
I thought you were going to say similar to that purse.
No. And like similar price point and stuff. So I guess if you really liked it, like you could definitely still go to that brand and
find
buy
more
stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that is also the benefit for the brand side of things that already exist to come in.
Yeah, to give them
now their
more.
brand's gonna grow, hopefully. But it was definitely interesting. So that was just this past week. Also,
cool.
This happened.
What happened?
Taylor Swift had another girls' night out.
Let's go.
With Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, Sophie Turner, and lo and behold, our football niche, Brittany Mahomes. Which I think has been really shocking everybody.
I know. I feel like everyone's genuinely so surprised, but I feel like the public also pushed a persona onto Brittany Mahomes, and obviously Taylor Swift has her own persona of being like the queen, mother, America's sweetheart, and I feel like Brittany's persona was very different than that. So to see the two together, everyone's like, this wasn't on my bingo card.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we don't know any of their personalities. No. Like,
the thing that really actually threw me off was they were holding hands, and then she was also linking arms with Selena Gomez, and I was just like, I could never imagine me and you going to don't you touch me and me and you going to dinner and like walking out holding hands. Like, obviously we know we've discussed like I have issues with
PDA
public
in general,
displays of affection, but
yeah,
like I just can't imagine a world in which like
we held
would
hands
do that
after going to the restaurant together. No, we did talk about this. We hold hands on airplanes when airplanes take off and land.
When it's a life or death scenario, you'll catch me being affectionate. But like other than that, and like taking off on an airplane is pretty life or death. Like to me, I'm at the edge of my seat. I need
need hand holding.
Yes, but
I love a hand holding. Maybe not with you. With my boyfriend, probably. Predominantly.
Okay, but like could you ever picture a world and like walking out with one of your friends like holding their hand?
If I was trashed, maybe.
Like hammered? Okay,
if I was hammered, I feel like me and Tracy have like held hands like walking, no, not even walking, in Ubers like after drinking.
That's crazy.
Like we'll hold hands or hold pinkies like in Uber. We did all hang out this weekend, the three of us. We were at your house and when we left, she was like, dang it, I wanted to give Haley a hug to make her feel uncomfortable. And then she proceeded to walk towards me and give me a hug. And I was like,
were you trying to make me I feel like I've been so much better with it.
With hugs and stuff? Yes. I mean, I don't think I've
not still with hugged. You. Like, obviously, why would we hug?
We've talked about that. There's no
like,
reason
with
for us to hug.
everyone else, I mean, even with Trace, like, why would I hug? Like,
she wanted to hug you, so when you see her next, she's probably gonna try to hug you.
What if I just hug her like out of nowhere?
My God, you should
really shock her.
You should shock her.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this, but
she won't.
It was funny because so with the tarot card episode, remember she like Brandy was like, "Oh, you're the lovers is your birth card."
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that wasn't true.
Wait,
we miscalculated it.
Really?
So my real birth tarot card was the Chariot, which is way more on brand.
Mean?
Self-control, mind over heart, depending on yourself, making use of your skills.
Overconfidence.
I don't know about that.
Scattered energy.
Anger.
You have scattered energy.
Do I?
Yes, because you.
What does that mean?
This is how I perceive scattered energy. I'm not sure if this is what it actually means, but like, at random, you will be like doing one thing and then you'll be like, you know what? I'm decorating for Christmas. And in the next 5 minutes, and like that could be not on the books, not on the plans for like weeks. Next thing you know, that house will be decorated to the nines.
It drives Evan nuts. And when you sent me that TikTok, it was such good timing because it was.
Which one was it? Was it the one of
me the TikTok of the girl who was like, like she was doing something on her computer and she's like, I really should paint like that room.
And then just painted the whole room.
Went and got painted the whole room.
That's
like
you.
That, I know.
That's you to a T.
I think that might be like ADHD.
It could be a factor.
I don't care what it is really, because it is a problem. Because I just recently realized it. When you sent me that, I was like, damn, that's how people think of me. And it was because Evan, same situation. It was when we were doing the Halloween party. And I had decided that, like, it took us like a couple weeks to decide we were like fully going to do it and what we were going to do for it. And when I did make the decision, I instantly was like, okay, time to decorate now. And like, I did not want to wait for him for anything. So I'm climbing on ladders. I'm standing on chairs. Like, I'm climbing up the walls to do this. And like, he comes out there and he's like, I said I would help you.
What's going on? Yeah.
And I'm like, you took too long. Like, if it doesn't happen within the instant that I decide it's happening.
Not with everything either. Like, sometimes you'll get an idea and you'll be like, okay, let's sit on that for a little bit. But like, once in a while, and by once in a while, I mean pretty often, probably at least once a week for you, a flip switches, and
it's problematic.
And whatever happens. So I don't know.
You would call that scattered energy?
I just feel like that's probably like an attribute.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Rebelliousness, though,
I definitely wouldn't say
inflated ego.
Yeah, you know that. But this was way more, a lot of these.
You are not rebellious.
No, but self-control. It's a lot of like Capricorn-ish
Capricorn
traits.
vibe. You are very Capricorn.
And so like this made sense to me.
Our birthdays are 6 days apart and we're so different.
Oh,
in the
gross.
TikTok.
Yeah, we need to do that.
We're from the same hometown though.
But yeah, so that was interesting. And I think that makes sense why that was probably not the right card for me. But going back to this, so I was thinking a little conspiracy here.
Oh.
So Sophie Turner was recently in the news because she was caught kissing some British.
Kissing? I thought they were just seen together.
No, I'm pretty sure they kissed. No, in a lip lock.
I thought the divorce was called off.
It was. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but with
my God,
I'm not going to say this right, but what I'm going to say is she was caught kissing a British aristocrat. I can't speak. An aristocrat. Isn't that like the fucking movie? I used to love those movies.
This aristocrat, yeah, with Marie.
Yeah,
with the little bow. I loved her.
Anyways, so a British aristocrat. She was caught kissing, and he's 29 years old, and he's considered an aristocrat.
Yeah, what does that mean?
He was born into the Pearson family, which is an extraordinary wealthy family, is said to be worth $279 million. His father is the 4th Viscount after inheriting the estate of Cowdray in West Sussex. And according to Google, a Viscount is a British nobleman ranking above a baron and below an earl. I don't know what that means.
Any of those
pretty
words
much
mean.
He's like royalty.
But it says dash here, pretty fantastic. Oh,
pretty
no,
fancy. Pretty fantastic. No, I got this from like an article explaining what it was. And so, but basically this guy she was kissing is set to inherit this from his father, and he will be the Viscount of
I don't know what a Viscount is.
Sussex. I don't know, but it's a royalty thing.
Viscount?
It's a royalty thing, okay? And anyway, so I was thinking, so this all came out like last week, and it was a big deal that she was kissing someone else because whatever, they're still going through the divorce, but is maybe called off. And so I'm thinking, did Taylor say, let's all get together? Because now when you Google Sophie Turner, none of that comes up. It's all about her going out with them again. So I don't know. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe it's no conspiracy.
If I know one thing, I know Taylor's a true friend because she's out here erasing Google search histories for people.
Absolutely wild.
That's nuts.
The kind of power you wield with that. But speaking of more conspiracies, so the Super Bowl logo was released, and it's purple and red, and people were saying that for the past few years, the Super Bowl logo as it gets released before the Super Bowl, and before you know who's in it, has coincided with the teams that are in it. So last year, the logo was red and green.
Right.
And it was the Chiefs and the Eagles that ended up in it.
Right.
The year before that, the logo came out as red and orange, and it ended up being the Chiefs and Bengals, whose colors are red and orange. But that was as far as it went. The 2021 logo did not coincide. And this year, because it's purple and red, people were thinking that maybe it was going to be the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Not true, though.
And I said that can't possibly be true
because
when the
America's team, the Lions,
right,
are going to be in the Super Bowl.
So it can't be true. It's just a conspiracy theory.
It's just people wanting to root for the Ravens and just have their fun with their little conspiracy theory. Not true.
It's not true. The real reference, though, for the colors, for the people who don't believe the conspiracy theory, who are like us, the real reference for the colors and design is to represent the skyline of Las Vegas, because that's where it's going to be played at, and the Las Vegas sign. So
there's the facts. There's the truth of the matter. One Google search away. Hopefully Taylor doesn't try to get that gone from the internet, too.
Yeah.
Because maybe she could. She probably wants it to predict the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl so she can see her man.
They can be in it. It's fine.
No, that's fine. As long as they're playing us,
will be in it.
We will prevail.
We're ridiculous.
I have to tell you something later.
Uh-oh.
No, it's just exciting.
Oh. Okay, are you going to another game?
No, I wish.
Oh.
No.
That would have been exciting, and then I would have been like, why the fuck didn't you invite me?
I mean, if I was going to another game, you'd probably know because you'd probably be invited because we'd probably be planning it together.
Bitch, you know I'm sexy.
Don't call, just text me. Wait, did you guys know that when they're spelling in that song, it's not IGG, it's ITGIRL?
Because it spells it girl.
Yeah. In case you didn't know, because we didn't.
We kind of just didn't even explain what we were just talking about.
We just are exposing ourselves.
No, because I simply cannot enter a room right now without doing that. And like every time, like I walked into the house yesterday and I was like, bitch, you know I'm sexy. And Evan was in his office and he's like, hey, did you say babe?
What? Shut up.
I was like, no.
When I was walking into the garage for the Halloween party, I was singing a song, but I forget what it was. And I did not realize Evan was in the garage setting something up in like the corner. So I kept walking straight, didn't see him. And he was like, hey. And I was, why would you scare me?
Oh, man. Good times. Okay. We're back with some shady stories instead of spooky this week. Please continue. Like I sounded like a teacher. Like, continue to submit your papers,
class,
please. Because we need some good shady stories. I feel like everyone got caught up with the spooky. I saw a couple more spooky.
Cut it out.
Save them for next year.
We told you.
Let's get back to the shady story.
Maybe we'll do something like holiday-esque for December. Like, yeah, I feel like
were you ever left home alone for the holidays and missed your flight? Okay, no, seriously, but keep submitting your shady stories. Let's get into shady story number 1. 20 years ago, I took a quick weekend trip with my friends and my boyfriend with his friends. We stayed in a semi-local area with 2 separate islands. There's a girl who fucks everyone's boyfriends, and she was there with other friends. It just so happened that she wanted to fuck my boyfriend that night, so her and my friends took my wallet without me knowing, and I couldn't party anymore because I had no ID or money. So I had no choice and went back to the girls' island pissed because I pieced everything together. My friends never came back that night. So while they were out, I drank my neighbor camper's beer and used their fire to burn my friends' belongings. Not only did I burn their belongings, but I burned one of pair of every shoes, shorts, but not the matching shirt. And then to top it off, I threw in their favorite down comforter. I fled first thing in the morning, but they were there for hours looking for their stuff. It was so odd that fuck girl happened to find my wallet and return it to me the next day. Those neighbor campers unknowingly also happened to be locals in our neighborhood and ended up telling my ex-friends, what I did. Needless to say, they were pissed. Still makes me giggle a bit thinking about them being confused and looking for their other shoe. girl, stop fucking everyone's boyfriends.
I mean, I can't blame her because, I mean, somebody tries to pull this shit on me. Arson is the only logical answer.
Like, that was the first thing that came to mind was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to do that? I'm going to set your shit on fire.
I mean, yeah.
I really like the pettiness, the level of thought that went into it. Of like one of each thing.
It wasn't just everything.
To really
it was
cause
strategic.
Mass confusion.
I love it. There was thought, there was strategy, and she executed flawlessly. I'm on her side.
I definitely say I love this. This is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the best Shady story I've heard in a minute because we've been reading spooky stories.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for valuing it.
You're welcome. Shady story number 2. I live in the UK, and these events happen whilst I was in primary school from ages 5 to 11. When I was year 2, which I think is first grade in the US, age 6 to 7, a new girl joined class called Ruby. At first, she seemed fine, but after a few weeks, I noticed she was not a nice person. She was very arrogant and bitchy to the other kids. Bitchy at age 7? Sorry, everyone. Back to the story. She hasn't done anything personal to me until one day she ran up to me at the playground and told someone had taken my watch out of the tray. I immediately knew that it was her who stole my watch because I knew she was like, I knew what she was like and how, sorry everyone, I can't read. Stop laughing at me. I just accidentally scrolled up. Haley's about to spit or pop out. And we're not cutting this out either.
No, I'm only laughing because you're like, sorry, everyone. Like, somebody said something to you. Like, no one's here. Just keep going. Just me.
Wait, I lost my train of track. Like, stop laughing.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're making me laugh.
How else would she know? Have known it was gone from my tray. So I ran from my tray. What the fuck is this tray? And the watch was gone and I confronted her. She denied taking it but showed me her tray and the watch was there. She said she didn't know how it got there, but obviously she did. I just took my watch back and tried to stay away from her. However, when I got home that day, I remember I felt so angry because that was my favorite watch and my Nana had bought for me. I wasn't having it. I wanted revenge. Everyone in class had their own account on this math game website type thing set up by my teacher, and you could earn coins and buy clothing to design your own avatar. The thing is, my teacher made everyone's password, and they were printed on a sheet at the front of the classroom. Pretty stupid, but it gave me an idea. So the next day, I sneaked at Ruby's password, and I wrote it on my hand. When I got home, I logged into her account on my laptop and I went to her avatar and I made her bald. I spent all her money on random shit and then logged out and cleared my search history and washed my hand. It was pretty smart for a 7-year-old, I guess. The next day, everyone went on their accounts in my class and I heard someone crying. Sure enough, it was Ruby. I smiled to myself, and to this day, I'm 20 now, I've never been found out. Not really a big deal, but I know at the time it was. I've never heard from this girl again after 6 years, grade 5, I think, since she went to a different high school than me. And I'm glad. I hated her guts, and I have no regrets. P.S. I love your podcast. It makes me laugh so much, and you are both such nice people. Lots of love. Aw.
Even though you butchered her story.
I'm so sorry, but I was so lost and it was my fault. But then I was lost because I was like, what the fuck is this tray? I don't understand. What's a tray? Why do you have to take your watch off for recess?
You get so caught up in the stories. Like, even when I'm reading or when you're reading, you cling to the actual story.
The small details of the story.
So it gets difficult for you, but
I love this though. She played the long game. Yeah. There was no way for it ever to be traced back to her. That's how you do it.
But it's just so funny that, like, the biggest deal at that time, which you know how it is, because, like, in elementary school,
Yeah, if someone made my Club Penguin like messed up or like bought
logged onto your Nintendogs and killed your Nintendog.
Oh damn. We're going for the kill?
I'm just saying, like that would have been a big deal.
My Nintendog ran away. What?
Why? You neglected it?
I guess. I loved it. It was a little Shih Tzu. I think its name was, I don't know what its name was.
Dude, that's crazy.
This was a crazy story though. Bald. Like, could you not make it? Could you not put it?
Well, Anna just like she spent all the money, so it's not like she could like.
So unfortunate.
No, because she probably couldn't buy the hair back because she spent all the money.
Damn.
It's clever. I like it.
I mean, 10 out of 10 for you. Again, another example of, there was strategy, there was
thought out,
and execution.
For a 7-year-old too.
Flawless.
It's crazy.
Chef's kiss. Great job.
All right. Shady story number 3. My sister has always lived with me since I was 17 and I got my own place. Well, I bought her a cell phone and she was 14 and she would be secretive and sneak out. She wouldn't let me go into the cell phone. So one night when she fell asleep, I opened it with my fingerprint and put my fingerprint on her phone and she never knew. She still doesn't know to this day.
I just saw a TikTok of a girl saying you should do this to your boyfriend's phone.
Would you ever do that?
No. I mean, maybe back in the day when I was crazy.
Yeah, like I feel like now, definitely for sure, no.
No,
but like,
nowadays I don't care.
When I was younger, I would have done some shit.
Yeah, I mean, like with Brian's phone, he has a long ass password, and he's told me it before, and I can never remember it. But like if I was still crazy, I probably would have taken the time to memorize it. You know what I mean?
I know Evan's phone password.
Brian's is too long. Like most people, four numbers.
Yeah, and like
his is like 16.
Why?
I don't know. Go look at it.
Now I kind of want it.
Yeah.
Why,
yeah,
Brian?
Maybe I don't know what
Why,
kind
Brian?
of secrets.
What are you hiding? No, Evan's is really easy to remember, but also it's mainly because there are just times where I'm like we have to do something or like someone's calling or like we have to text from it, and it's just like too much to like be like, can you put it in? It's like,
Brian just needs to make his shorter. I can't remember that many numbers.
It's probably like low key his school ID from high school.
Probably. I still remember my school ID from high school or from elementary school, middle school, high school.
I remember mine too.
Yeah, it's a pretty long number too. Are you going to type it in right now?
That's probably it. No, I was just looking
No, it's like some like design. It's like it's like a, like I think it is like a,
but like, okay, think about this.
Formation type situation.
As an adult, like in this situation, it makes sense why she did it because they were living together and she was sneaking out. So
yeah,
I understand why she did it. But like, could you imagine to this day, like, would you want your siblings' password?
No.
I wouldn't want to know what the fuck was going on.
No, I don't need to know what's on Matthew's phone.
Yeah, like wouldn't you feel like weird to not like
Yeah.
You would never want to go through that.
Yeah, what would I need to find out on there?
You could scar yourself for life. You could. I would not want to go through my sibling's phone.
Well, now I'm scared.
You could scar yourself.
And now I don't even want to see him with his phone.
Now I want to throw his phone in the fire.
Now I don't even want him to have a phone at this point. Could be terrible.
No, but like seriously, like I would not want my siblings thing. But
what do you have on your phone that you're hiding?
Well, nothing, but like even like conversations with like you. Like I don't want, like we talk a lot of shit.
You don't say.
No, we're not that bad. But like, what if we do?
What if we do talk shit? Who will ever know?
Just a little shady.
Yeah. I mean, I would say.
Do you ever think about this? Like, I think about this sometimes.
What?
Like, God forbid, one day when you're no longer on this earth, what do you want to happen to your phone? Who would you trust to have your phone?
You.
And dispose of it, correct?
Yeah.
Just immediately dispose.
Nobody needs to see my phone.
I would want mine immediately disposed of. There's nothing on there.
So are you giving me permission to dispose of it?
Yes. Anybody. You don't need to go through
What do you want me to tell Evan, though, when your phone doesn't exist?
Well, no, because here's the thing. Like, I feel like people use the excuse of, like the pictures and, like, you know what I mean?
Any picture that needs to be out in the world is out in the world at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like, do you want me to lie and say, like, I don't know where your phone went to? Or say, like, I was tasked with this mission?
I was tasked with this mission. I've said this in front of Evan. There's nothing, like,
no,
on there.
I don't want to think about this anymore.
There's nothing on there that's, like, so dire. But, like, I could picture my sister being like, I want to see it. And, like...
So you're more concerned about that.
Like, I could just picture her just starting some shit.
So you need me to get rid of your laptop too?
All of it.
Okay. It's all gone. No, yeah, I want everything gone.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's some shit that I feel like I want to be released to the world to, like, induce chaos in the people that hurt me.
Actually, yeah.
Like, it's
like how people have their, like, folders in case they go missing. Like, we need to make, like, a folder of, like, release to the world and then, like, burn everything else.
Yeah, I have receipts that I think that once I'm gone, I will want out in the world.
Receipts
to induce havoc.
This is my biggest fear because, like, I just feel that even, like, friends or, like, sisters or, like, if family were to, like, look at, you know how much shit you, like, randomly be like, oh my God, so-and-so pissed me off today. And then, like, they look at your messages and, like,
yeah,
now they're just pissed at you and you can't defend yourself.
Yeah, you're not here on this earth to defend your words. You can't defend
yourself anymore, so you can't, like, there's no...
Okay, well, we'll have to make a folder of, like, anything that's allowed to be released to the earth.
We're acting like we have, like, FBI files. Like, first of all, the government has everything.
I probably have 2 screenshots and, like, a screen recording that could go out to the world.
That's crazy. I don't even think I have anything.
I have voice memos. I have crazy voice memos.
Of what? I don't have anything
Keep your
receipts,
like that. Man. Keep your receipts.
Oh, you do.
I have some crazy voice recordings. I don't have anything good
like that. Like, I'm just meaning,
some
like,
tea.
I don't need like everybody being pissed at me when I'm not here to defend myself.
When I went skydiving, you weren't there, and I told one of our friends, I was like, something goes wrong. Release the voice memos. Release them all.
It's like
people need to tell the truth. I act like it. Was it really that dramatic? No. Would it change anyone's life at this point? No. But it would just cause a little bit of drama and ruffle a little bit of feathers.
You would love that.
You know,
you'd be beyond just celebrating.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean,
yeah, I don't have anything good like you do.
If I peace out first, at least do me some justice.
All right. I'll write that down.
Thank you.
We've got to make like a file.
A file.
That's crazy. Wow, that went on a different
crazy tangent.
A different tangent than I ever imagined. But yeah, that concludes it. The Shady story inspired it.
Yeah,
and so
it was fun.
Keep writing them in. Inspire our really wild tangents, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.